Can you blame them, Semler?
Not really. Not after how that second half played out. A flawless victory for EnVyUs when they swapped over to the T side. Didn't drop a single round. They just ran right through compLexity. And so if it plays out the same way, you can start to say, right, compLexity are going to put up a fight. But when EnVy get onto that T side, is it going to be a repeat performance from compLexity? And that's where the doubt sets in. So I kind of have to settle with EnVy just because right now the CT side for compLexity just doesn't look polished enough.
Well,
ouch.
Apex up to his old tricks there. I was going to say that EnVy have at least gone for the inherent risk in not buying a defuse kit, which means if the bomb goes down and they need to retake a site, things could get interesting. But if you're hitting shots like that, then why would you ever need to worry about it? They do have 3 men set up to try and get out of Squeak with Def holding in the middle. It's a good setup. If they can get the bomb down and have Def alive in the middle, that's a very, very strong way to keep EnVy from retaking the site. But it's going to require some really good shots coming out of compLexity.
It just feels weird to not see NBK on that A side anymore for EnVy. Like the changes that have come in, obviously, with the setup.
Look at how far he's being allowed to move in, and the timing, it couldn't be worse. Oh, Def, I don't think he deserved that, and look at this. Devil, a 3-man execution coming out. That was one of the most convincing pistol rounds we've seen in a while. I've got to say, you've got to feel sorry for Def, because the fact that he's managed to sneak that far in there is obviously great. It's just that he was just looking where Apex was.
They shot 2 bullets, like 7 bullets, basically. 2 of them went wide, all the rest headshots. What is that from EnVy? Okay, then. Really, all you can do is just be like, right, now you want to just erase that from your memory, compLexity, and proceed as normal. Just hope that you're going to be able to bounce back here, because it is not a force buy from them. They do actually just go for the 1-man, that's Sanks. He's got the P250 Kevlar. The rest of his teammates, though, no Kevlar, so just some upgraded pistols. Hardly any nades left to work with either. It's going to be Happy just having a bit of a field day until Surreal steps in and takes out his second player. He's got that Deagle, but he's about to have a face full of HE. Forces him out into the open. Kenny will get the kill with the HE and not the MP7, so that's a little frustrating for him. He wants that bonus SMG money.
A 3-man going down for EnVy to not that much equipment from compLexity. So I think they got the better of that round, basically. In spite of the fact they sort of did know where they were. They had pretty good read early on, still able to throw away a couple of rifles there.
Happy just looks like a mad professor or something, just like a crazy guy. Kind of like Blade, similar a little bit, Just maybe the eyes are a little bit too wide, I don't know. That's why he's mad. Blade is very much a sane professor. Happy, though.
Riddle me this, though, Semler. If Happy was a chemistry professor, would he have other people mixing the chemicals for him? See how that works. MBK picking up some good kills with the Nova. Third, in fact, coming in. It's a lot of money in his pockets. And was Devil trying to knife someone again? There was someone running with a knife, I think. It's going to be 3-0 either way for EnVy. And moving into the 4th round here, see if compLexity can pick up an early start here on the C side. That's where they should be doing a lot of work.
It's like 3 kills with a shotgun as well. Just practically erases all of compLexity's all the kills that they got. They made it expensive for him in the last round. Yeah, no. And NBK now starts with the round with like $9,000 in the bank. So,
yeah.
Just gets to chuck around rifles, make sure that everybody's equipped. Now it's all on compLexity here in this next round. Whitmer does not have his AWP. Instead, he's gone for an AK just to be able to afford to get some nades. It's his teammates Sanks and Def who are a bit low on utility. But they did have the incendiary for sandbags. I do like that. Get that incendiary down behind the sandbags, get control of mid. This opens things up here for compLexity, and it looks like with the bomb above A main, boosted above A main. I'm not a big fan of having the bomb boosted, because if the guy dies up there, it could actually come back to haunt you. We've seen it happen in the past.
You never know where it might go, right? Could end up in all sorts of weird places. And he did peek into main, and then they fell back and went for the boost grenade. Is it going to chase him down? It will. Oh, no. Sanks, he was on 10 health. And that grenade just went above the roof and caught him. Now, they've got the mid control, yes, but they're a man down, and they still don't know that much about EnVy's setup.
They've seen what? Yeah, Kenny, basically.
In middle,
mid,
yeah.
And that's it. They haven't seen anybody else. Did get a bit of a flash. They know that EnVyUs have lost, or rather, EnVy have control of A main. So I think that's why compLexity are starting to work their way over here towards B. They have a little bit of a read on it. Whitmer's going to find NBK crouching in the smoke. Kenny will only trade the 1 kill, though, so we're into a 3-on-3 now. compLexity, they have control of the bomb site and should be able to get the plant unless Happy can go for something big. That flash that he threw out was actually effective, and he's going to deny the bomb plant, gets into headshot, just sprays randomly, but more importantly, that sets it up for Devil in the flank. perfect timing for Happy to go for his push, and he somehow survives.
Yeah, I think it may be a bit too aggressive for Kenny to go for the jump up on the box there. But overall, really good stuff for EnVy, making sure there wasn't going to be a one part, and they win a 4th round here. The timing for Devil is just very good, and the fact that he gets those kills with the SMG and I think trades out for an AK, so much money to work with.
Now Kenny gets his op. Maybe that's why he was so aggressive, right? He's like, I don't care if I die. I get my op. I get my true lover in the next round. So it works out for him. It's another round of eco coming in here for compLexity, and all-out aggression into A main. Devil with the wild spray. Takes a little bit, but he gets the job done. We'll find Sanks, and he has Happy to watch his back. So Def and Whitmer, they're in position at Squeak to try and get a punish. They will get a tag. Def will find one shot. Happy struggling to get this kill. He'll eventually get it, but definitely took a bit too much time. They don't know that Whitmer's in there, though. Or do they? Do they know that there's a second man? I don't think so.
Oh. Happy holding the door. Don't want to spoil too much in case people haven't been watching Game of Thrones. It's going to be 5-0. We're moving into the 6th round. We do have an AWP on Whitmer and AKs for the rest, and a lot of Molotovs. So they have a lot of openings here. They seem to be able to get the mid-control compLexity without sort of too many casualties. That's a good start, but I mean, they need to build something behind that mid-control.
Well, they know that EnVy have been going aggressive, and so that's why Sanks, you can see him just looking into the wall. Whitmer is there to back him with that AWP. So if EnVy were to go for A main again, they would be lucky, but instead it's Kenny changing it up. He goes to Squeak and finds the kill on Def. No way possible for Sanks to try and get that kill back. It just happened too quickly. And Sanks, I mean, he's worried about Happy being there. He realizes they're working as a duo on that site. Doesn't want to just walk into a trap that's been set by EnVy. This is a little bit much, though, from Happy, though. I mean, look at this. They're going for the counter boost. They got the opening pick, and now Happy's actually going to be boosted up and waiting. And not even really waiting. He actually goes very aggressive with it. Little does he know the bomb is right around the corner in Garage.
Yeah, I think EnVy have just decided, look, we're going to play so aggressively and so unpredictably that they will just eventually end up having to give up. They're trying to boost right on the other side, and Happy's there waiting. Oh, this is brutal. He's going to get both the kills. Well, Sanks and Whitmer going down. Very, very good play coming out of EnVy. Very hard for compLexity to do anything about here.
I'm just thinking this is a bit of a tough time for Def and Surreal, right? You know, Brexit, you lose to Iceland, now you're getting your head caved in by the French. This is just brutal. Android showing up. He's going to put up a bit of a fight here. He gets 2 kills to make it a little bit more expensive for EnVy. So no clean sweep here for EnVy. Back-to-back 5-player surviving rounds. That's not going to happen. So they will be forced to tap into the bank.
Well, you know what? At least they made it into the US before any walls are built, so they've got that going on for them, Semler. Android is going to be moving up, and they already know where he is. He's got the health, but still pretty tough road ahead. Kenny will take him out, and that will be 6-0 in favor of EnVy. They have so much money, so this is the other thing. We've seen it in the past in this week at ELEAGUE as well, that sometimes terrorist team, they'll sort of lose a bunch of rounds, they'll win a single round, and then they get back in the game. That isn't even what compLexity are facing here. They need to win sort of 2 or 3 rounds in a row before EnVy starts to run out of money.
Yeah, EnVy's economy is just so solid. And we're talking full buys where they're dropping 6 grand in a round right now, EnVy, to get fully equipped with the rifles, the incendiaries, kits across the board. Nobody skimping. I love it. Now compLexity are the ones who are like, right, okay, once again, we're going to go into A main. Our focus is going to be A. We're actually just going to give up on the mid control. EnVy keep beating us there. So let's see if we can't actually just rush out onto the site. Only problem is Happy's in one of his old favorite spots. The Happy boost is happening, and it's right. He's just going to be looking straight at A main, but he's shown his hand. He's done this already on this map. So compLexity, they have to be aware. I wouldn't be surprised if one of them is pre-aiming this spot when they come around the corner.
Well, he's ducking right now. He's going to stand up into it, gets the one, very nearly a double kill, but now they're going to get completely sandwiched in here, and Devil goes down, so 2 on 3. Although Surreal is very low on health, they do have an HG grenade, and he is standing out in main, so he shouldn't be grenaded down too easily. In fact, he picks up a kill on Kenny, so this is really good news for compLexity. It might be their first round here. Smoke going to go into main. They'll block him off a little bit, but if you... Oh, okay, walks right into it. Probably a little bit too aggressive there for Surreal. Got to be careful that MBK doesn't steal this round away from them. It's a 1-on-2, and he is sneaking around Forklift. They hear him making a lot of noise, and all they need to do is hide and play for time. He comes back around and goes into fight with Sanks ends up coming out on bottom, and that's going to be 6-1 favoring Envy.
And well, excuse me, the turn of speed, that's what it's all about there for compLexity. Managing to actually get just an explosive kind of play where nothing went wrong in the setup. They just went straight into the setup, did the flashes, did the smoke, and boom, run. Like they didn't do anything complicated there, compLexity, and I think they need to continue with that, right? Don't overthink things. Don't put yourselves in situations where it's going to be team play that carries you through. If you can just actually just get that execute together where everybody just runs in as a unit and overwhelms, just swarms the site, that can work. That can be solid here for compLexity. So hopefully we'll see more of the same here from the NA team. EnVyUs, they go back to a default kind of style of holding here. 2 guys on the A site, 1 in mid. That's Apex holding a Sugar Cube on short. And then 2 holding in checkered here towards B site. Was wondering if somebody would get boosted up into vents. If NBK wants to go ahead and get boosted up, that is an option. They've already broken the vents. Yeah, they were waiting for that. And actually, that's fair. Maybe NBK, wow. compLexity have been pretty consistent throwing that nade into vents. So maybe just one step ahead. Not going to get caught by it.
They're going to be pushing out a B, Kenny and NBK. So they're getting a lot of information, which is really good, but they need to sort of be able to rotate before the hit happens. And right now, both Kenny and NBK are really far away from the A-bomb side, and Happy and Devil are sort of being sandwiched in from behind. So this is a really big problem right now. They need to get the rotation happening. Devil buying some time here, getting a great double spray, actually. Apex stealing one of them there. He's going to go down. Devil coming up with a second kill for himself, and Whitmer, third for him, turning around as Surreal to take out the player. And now it's a one-on-one. Groupe bomb has gone down. Kenny trying to see if he could sneak a kill on Surreal here. Oh, when he sees him just a little inch, and Surreal is going to be going down. Didn't have any chance to spot out Kenny. And that's a full reset for compLexity.
Yeah, nightmare scenario for compLexity. We'll see the opening here. I mean, this is it, right? Just move in together as a unit so you can constantly trade. Whitmer just doing work. That 180 headshot on the man holding his mid, that was a sick shot coming in from him. I mean, oh? He's got the op. Okay, so it seems like they figured out that Kenny's playing on B site with that AWP, so they want to try and go for some pressure there. compLexity, that makes sense.
Yeah, there's a classic mistake that AWPers make on this map where they're too slow to react to the push that's coming in. Now, Kenny's actually committed to this by being so far on the left. If you hold the slightly more right-sided angle, you could fall back. Now he's sort of all in, so missing the shot early on, tries to fall back through the smoke, but they are going to catch him, and it's a really good read coming out of compLexity. It does net them a kill, and we're in a 4-on-4. NBK up here, looking to maybe do a little something if they cross over. Surreal going to get a kill on Apex, and this is very good news. The bomb's going to go down. Still a 3-on-3.
Still a chance here for compLexity, but they just need to play it right. They've got that triangle set up. Devil gets the smoke to block down B tunnels, though. So that's going to try and funnel things in. Devil gets dropped down to 3 HP. Def putting some great pressure on him with that Tech 9 up close. Well, Devil's just wondering, hey, Happy, we need you to get into this fight. No reaction coming from the man on the site, so there's just nothing here possible for Envy now at this point. An M4 picked up, an AWP picked up. Happy should not have a chance. He could try and make this a bit expensive for them by just getting a pick here or there. This is an eco round win. It's not going to happen. compLexity, they're going to have excellent money going into the next round, and there we go. Perfect read by Whitmer. Great call on his part, just saying, right, just put the pressure on Kenny. He's there with the AWP at B side. If we run at him with Tech 9s, worst case scenario, he gets one of us.
There are a couple of positions like that on different maps where it feels like people should have they should sort of have an agreement with themselves. What do I do if X happens? Another classic scenario is people in B-bomb side of Mirage jumping to look into the hallway. If you jump and the rush is already halfway there, you need to have an idea about what you're going to be doing before this hit even happens. Good run-in from Devil, but he does get taken out from Android. And that B-bomb side peak with the AWP it's so common as well. It's really often you see people get confused for just a moment, and that moment's hesitation is enough that you can't do anything.
Good comms coming out here from compLexity as well. They heard somebody under boost, and so they're just going to be thorough with their grenades. They know that EnVyUs are ecoing at this point, so they're like, right, get that Molotov down, make sure that there's no traps waiting for us.
I think, by the way, that last round, the play that Kenny should have made was to go aggressive. Even if he missed the first shot, just go and peek again. Try and fight them. Happy going to be going down, and it's no issue here for compLexity. Will pick up another round. They do make it 7-3. Have a lot of money, and EnVy still don't have that much, but they might try and buy anyway. I mean, 3 of them can buy, 2 of them cannot. And they already have 7 rounds on the CT side, so they are looking pretty decent. Are they going to try and just even it out?
Yeah, okay, they will. Kenny had just enough for that AWP Kevlar, right? I was thinking that they might try and go for a half buy, but all things considered, it's Happy. He goes for the CZ. He should be able to get nades. There's the kit. Good. No, actually a reasonable buy coming out here from EnVy, all things considered. Happy can play close on A if he wants, get into a position with that CZ where he can at least trade 1 for 1. And in the meantime, Apex, once again, putting some pressure in mid, gets that smoke down and the spray, but compLexity do get that double boost, and there's the incendiary again. NBK not going to be able to pick up a kill. Instead, Whitmer's there to take him out immediately, and that sets it up beautifully here for a split onto B.
That's a bit silly. Now, Kenny's in another really tough spot here. AWP on site. All he has to do is miss 2 shots, and he's out of it. Not going to miss the first one, but the second flick not going to happen, and Happy goes down as well. Whitmer and Def opening up the bomb site, and Devil, yeah, just going to hide in CT spawn. Great triple kill for Whitmer. He seems to be stepping it up quite a bit here on Cash. He's currently top fragging in his team on 9 kills, and top of the server is Kenny at 12.
Kenny, I mean, he had a strong start, right? But he's definitely seems to have dropped off a little bit now that the action is coming to him over on B site. Devil, a lot of his kills are from, well, actually, I feel like a lot of his kills are from MBK corner. Like, he's got a very firm grasp of how to get that spray going. Obviously, the 3 headshots in the pistol were pretty impressive, but that's one of Devil's strengths. It's like you want to put him in a position where he just sits and sprays, because that's one thing you notice when you watch him play, is that he has excellent spray control, it looks like. He's able to get that transfer going from target to target. That's invaluable when you're dealing with a position that can often get rushed. Here I am praising him. Doesn't get the spray that time. He will eventually fall, so no rifle saved, but still, I mean, you have to look for the small things here. And it seems like Devil, that's something that you need to kind of capitalize on when you're thinking about where he's going to go on the map. And it just so happens that he's the guy thinking about that, right? He's the in-game leader.
Yeah, which is very interesting. Like, I feel like it's too much to put on someone who's just sort of joined the team. That's just my opinion. 7-4 and moving into the 12th round here. Not really anything worth speaking of on the EnVy side here. compLexity starting to get a bit of traction on the terrorist side, and if you judge from sort of the earlier in the week and even just the first game, this is where they need to do all of their work, right? So the fact that we're at 7-4 is not exactly great news. I think they need to try and close this out, you know, 7-8, just get all the rounds they can right now on the T side, because CT side is going to be tough.
And Kenny's just sitting there thinking, hey, you have my op. I want that back.
Saw the gun barrel as well. Oh no.
All you can do is sigh. It's like, all right, he's got his op back, he's reunited. And it feels so good. Whitmer, Android, Sanks, the last 3 alive here for compLexity. Bomb is over at Squeak as well, as you guys can see. So we should think, you should think that this is going to wind up in a split onto A. The only problem is that now that Kenny has an AWP, pushing up short, it's almost suicide if he's looking towards it. So this is a little tricky here for compLexity.
40 seconds left. They're going to try and go for it. And Whitmer picks up a kill, but he will go down. Devil hiding in that corner again. And NBK trying to cover the cross with a deagle. Not going to connect with any shots. Bomb is in that corner with 30 seconds. And that's a nice shot from Apex. And also Devil with one more triple kill here. So that's going to make it 8-4. compLexity will have money to buy, and that's obviously a bit of a relief. Would have been stressful if they had to go straight back to Eco.
Yeah, no, that would have been, well, heartbreaking, basically, if you're compLexity. You need to get some rounds. You have to end at 8-7, basically. That's the final draw. So 3 rounds left in this half. And we'll have to see if compLexity, if they're going to have the metal to get it done. Another eco win for EnVyUs is just nuts. I mean, that's like Envy of old kind of style. And Apex getting boosted up. He's in a prime position. Not an AWP. It would be pretty good to have an AWP there. Instead, he's going to lose his teammate, lose his support. Devil takes a bullet to the head. And Apex hardly gets anything at all, apart from the info out of that engagement.
It's a creative idea, but it backfired a little bit there. And Devil, who I think is tied for top frag right now at 13, ends up dropping. NBK to follow. Good shot from Kenny, but what a nice pre-fire from Def. He saw that coming. AK shot straight to the face of Kenny. Happy and Apex are going to be left. Surreal covering, making sure no one could get close enough to really do anything here. Not sure why Happy's lurking around. He doesn't have a kit, so it's not even going to be like a fun attempt at a ninja.
Snacks. Yeah, that's true. This is the kind of explosive play, though, that compLexity really need to have. They get that opening pick in mid. They realize, great, we weakened the defense. Now we run in, and we just try and go, just not let EnVyUs recover from that loss of a man, because you're trying to take advantage of the rotation, basically. One player on the map is going to be moving to try and cover that ground that's just been opened up. So compLexity so far, I mean, on Dust, they were trying to do the same thing. But here on Cash, they've had a little bit more luck. Apex is going to catch Whitmer out in the open. Trade up for the AK, so not the end of the world for compLexity. With 3 players surviving, that works out just fine. But why didn't they have Kenny boosted up here in mid, right? You know, that's what I would be wondering. You know, you want that off. You just see somebody, boom, you get the kill and you back off. Instead, Apex has to hang around there so long with the M4 that it just turns into a spray fight.
Yeah, you would think that. Doesn't seem like a very good idea. I actually agree. I think that's hoping for too much. Maybe if you get like a straight headshot, but then don't sit around and spray for a long time if that doesn't happen. Bit strange, bit strange. Quick boost into middle, no Molotov coming out from the CT side because I don't think they could afford it. And we're into the 14th round here. They keep checking that corner by the sandbags, and they should. Such a good way to get a kill early on if there is someone hiding. MBK heard the vents, heard the drop in, and Kenny saw the gun barrel, so they definitely know. But oh no, he misses the shot and he can't even make it off the box. A big mistake, but they haven't checked this corner. And now MBK's here with a deagle, gonna finally get the headshot. That was about to be a bit scary, and that's all he's gonna get. So a lot of opportunities for Envy, and none of them really capitalized on.
Not at all. MBK playing it very patiently, but you bet he wished he had a 5-7 or a CZ there in that situation. Would have made his life a whole lot easier. Def just hitting some great shots this round. One with the pick on Kenny. Kenny couldn't get anything done. And with that follow-up, that's not going to pan out. Def with the spray, full blind, gets the kill on Devil. 3 for him in the round. A big round here for the Brit. But that's 8-6. And compLexity have now broken. They succeeded in breaking EnVyUs' economy. There's going to be a bit of a force buy coming out from them. 2 rifles and then the rest on pistols. Whereas compLexity are going to be fully equipped. So 8-7 is actually... It's not a horrendous... I mean, all right, so if you have a solid CT side, you can definitely work with 8-7. Right now, I think there's still doubt about compLexity because their CT side on Dust 2 is just so shaky. Kind of makes you wonder how their CT side is going to look here on Cash.
Hopefully better than on Dust 2, so all I can say. If they win a round, then already we're going to be there. Devil hiding in the corner, close range here. Android seems to be looking right at him through the smoke. Devil going to be charging in behind a flashbang, but very hard to do damage with the pistol here. He's finally going to get the headshot, looking for a bit more. Picks up the AWP and right around the corner. No, it's not going to happen. Def will cancel that fight. Real shame. That could have been really good for Devil. We're happy, and Kenny going to have to try and retake.
Shots are going to come out. There's the flash to create some space. Kenny making use of the smoke, the flashes, the Molotovs, everything getting chucked right at him. He eats a nade as well. He just can't catch a break right now. And Happy in the meantime is working his way out through Squeak. So Kenny's about to go out onto the site. Android is there to catch him. And Def looking towards Squeak, expecting the backstab attempt to come in here from Happy. So another solid round here from compLexity. And they wake up after a near perfect start. I think it was 6-0 for EnVyUs. compLexity started actually getting rounds on the board. EnVyUs only get 2 rounds after that in the half. So some solid work here from compLexity to end the first half here on Cash.
Yeah, absolutely true. Very interested to see if they could do better on the CT side. I mean, they almost have to do that, right? Otherwise, this is going to be a quick 2-0 for Envy. We'll see how that goes after the break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is the second half of the second map coming up here between EnVy and compLexity. compLexity, they're still showing us things. They were a bit slow out the gate on this map, but overall, they do finish at 8-7, so I mean, not too bad.
And it's perfect timing here for the fans to show up. The place is starting to fill up a little bit. So sick. You know, that's one of the beauties of here of being at ELEAGUE is that we can actually have fans get involved live in the studio. So we'll see if they get the compLexity shirts again. They might. There's still hope for a third map.
Yeah, of course there is. Devil being matched up versus Def here, and Devil had a pretty good map overall. 19 kills, and 3 of them were in that pistol round that looked so good. I'm sure there's going to be a couple of highlights of that. And generally seems to be getting into the game a bit more, I would say. Def on the other side, I think he actually ends the half with 13 kills. So, I mean, it wasn't too bad of a game for him. But they need this pistol round on the CT side. They need a good, strong start. They were really struggling on the CT side of Dust2. They got no rounds at all. Just got completely run over by EnVy. Happy here in the middle. A lot of targets around their corner. Trying to see if they can make it work. He hasn't got any backup. It's finally going to come, but it's too late. And they will trade 2 for 1.
You know, it's so much damage taken in the meantime. Android low, Sanks on 1 HP, Def at 15. This makes life pretty easy here for EnVy in the end. Because now compLexity have to go for a retake on the tougher site. Lots of choke points for EnVy to take advantage of. As you guys can see, NBK already looking towards upper, where Def is trying to peek his head out to get some info. And there it is, one clean click coming out from NBK. Def is down. We're into a 3-on-3 retake now for compLexity. And NBK, he just doesn't even need his teammates. Android's going to find 1 kill, but NBK and Apex find the next 2, and that's it. EnVy again picking up the pistol. compLexity, that's the one thing that's been sticking with them. They have not won a single pistol so far in this best of 3. Like, they just get some of those free rounds. Get those anti-ecos, those feel-good moments.
And we should, I mean, another small detail in that 3v4 there is that Apex is actually out lurking by Toxic and sort of making sure that no one's sneaking in from that angle. Now, the fact that he doesn't see anyone when MBK gets the first kill means they've got a good idea that there's not going to be coming anyone there. They also had a third player checking the vents, so they have an almost perfect read on where compLexity are trying to retake from, and that makes life really hard for the CT side. No armor being picked up here on compLexity. They don't seem to buy very much in these follow-up rounds.
No, they don't. It's actually, I mean, it's a stylistical choice, right, coming out from some of these teams. Some of them, I mean, you have teams, Na'Vi are one of them, right, that will constantly go for the force buy. EnVy, obviously, love to go for the force buy. But then you also have teams, Astralis for a while were one of them, that just prioritize the nades. They want to make sure they can get as many nades to go along with their rifles in the first buy round if they lose that pistol. And I personally, I prefer that style, to be frank. Like, just have some, if you have confidence in your ability to hold with the rifles, just do the best that you can to get all the utility you can to make your life easier then.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the science is still out on it, right? And it's something that could probably change over time. You know, there could be phases of the game where one style seems to be better, and then it can change over time. And compLexity certainly seem to be favoring a very light kind of a setup. We'll see if it works out for them in the 4th round, which is not this one, but the upcoming one, just having more grenades and everything else. Android in the smoke, trying to see if he can get back out again, walking behind them with a P250. Oh, what a nice shot and a great follow-up. That's actually very good pistol work. Absolutely.
2 headshots, a body shot. That gets him the kill on Apex, so the entry fragger is down now for EnVyUs. Kenny nearly buys the farm as well, but still a 4-on-4, and like you said, I mean, they just don't have that gear compLexity, so again, it's going to have to come down to these pistols. They have the AK now picked up on Whitmer, so we'll see if he can put it to good use. And there is a 1-for-1 trade again, now into a 3-on-3, and Kenny's so low, Devil is low as well. There's still a fighting chance here for compLexity. If they can get some of that, if they can get that rifle into play, that would be big.
Definitely will be. The bomb is now making its way onto the site, so as soon as that goes down, time is sort of going to end up running out, and turns out Happy's just going to get a quad kill with the MAC-10. I think maybe one of them was with the Deagle, but still $9,050 on him at the beginning of this round. Just going to invest a little bit there.
And now we have the buy coming in from compLexity, let's see. So, a few nades to go with it. Sank's still sitting on 650. What is the decision there? Is he going to get an incendiary to go with that, or a kit? They have 1 kit on Whitmer, and Sank's is just saving money. How does that make any sense?
It doesn't, is the answer.
Is that true? Yeah, 550 on Android Sanks with, they both have enough to get a couple more nades. Interesting decision. I mean, Def not going to need any nades. It's aggression in B halls, and they catch out NBK, who usually lurks there for Envy. But then Envy, they don't really care about that. They're primed and ready to go out onto this A site.
Yeah, they could have had potentially a Molotov, potentially another flashbang, and those are big tools to deal with. Great Molotov landing on Devil, and with the follow-up HE, they're gonna deny that plant, and that's gonna be a little bit tricky now for Envy. They need to get back in here. It's gonna buy a lot of time for the rotation to happen as well. Sanks is still waiting over here, and I'm not exactly sure why or what he's waiting for. Whitmer gets a kill, but Def goes down, and Kenny gonna be falling to Whitmer, so now it's all unhappy. Did Sanks disconnect?
It might be a technical issue that's happening here for him. Yeah, because he is not moving. He's still stuck over in checkered. Happy with the random spray. He's going to pick off Whitmer. And that bomb is planted. Happy knows exactly where it's coming from, but he sprays a bit too much, and Android will eventually find the kill. He's got a kit as well. So there will be a successful defuse here for compLexity. That's how good the compLexity are, man. They don't even need Sanks. Sanks, you can stare into the wall over on B site. It's fine. We'll take care of business over here on A.
Wow. So apparently both Happy and Sanks are running into some issues in that round. Regardless, that's there was some pretty good stuff in there. For one thing, the Molotov and the grenade combo is so good. I'm so happy they did it. It goes to this thing that I keep sort of railing, railing all the teams for and just being generally angry about. The default plant. Stop doing it. And it is surprising to me that it doesn't happen more often. There are so many maps where that combo exactly could be used. Throw a Molotov, throw an HE grenade, you know where they're going to be planting. So just let them have the site and get an easy kill like that. The current one that I'm most angry about is the A bomb site on overpass. Because like 95% of the time people plant behind the same boxes and that's it. I can actually show you in the game exactly what I'm talking about. So this has changed a lot on cache, right? But it used to be that people would only ever plant here, which is the default plant, and it makes sense because it's like the safest, right? You don't need control of highway, you don't need control of the truck, you can still get the bomb plant down. But the problem is, if you're trying to, if the CTs are on the side and they're trying to defuse, then any player who's by forklift or who's by main can't do anything to stop that defuse from coming through. And the other thing which compLexity showed us is that if you know for a fact where they're going to be putting the bomb down, then just grenade it, you know. Think about how often you'll have CTs holding out here and how easy it would be to throw a bunch of grenades in. So there are a lot of, I think, downsides to always using the same plant, and I think not enough CT sites are exploiting that. My prediction is, and has been for more than 6 months now, that will happen in the future. More teams will do what compLexity just showed us.
Retake scenarios, pistol rounds, etc. Yeah, you can think about it. You can think about it. It's definitely an option. And it's just a little bit of work, a little bit of prep. But we'll see. Teams can definitely take advantage of it in the future. What is interesting to me is that, EnVyUs continue to go with this MAC-10 buy. Devil's going to get the trade and somehow roast a man alive. NBK's there to just rush down Whitmer on the site itself. Surreal going to miss the shot on Kenny. And misses the follow-up on NBK as well. And that pretty much, that makes it so difficult now to get that retake going on the site.
Yes, indeed. Surreal trying to get up on the high ground, but now the Android's dead as well. He does actually hit that shot, but it won't make any difference at all. So very aggressive round coming out of Envy. There seemed to be no pause at all in that attack. They just kept going until the round was done. And see a real reaction coming out of Whitmer. Not at all happy.
Not at all happy, man, yeah. A lot of emotion getting showed, actually.
Which, again, I kind of like. I think there is a value to being able to control your emotions and saying I won't think about, you know, sort of if I'm happy or sad about what's going on until after the game. But I also don't like. But I think there's a tipping point where people become just completely sort of disconnected from the game. And I'd rather. This is a clear indication that he's very invested into the game, right? And I think that's overall a good sign.
It's just like if you're sitting on the same table or close to each other like that, if I'm Surreal and Whitmer, and I'm in a fight, you know, in a spray fight or something like that, if Whitmer's like slamming the desk next to me and jiggles my aim and I die because of it, I might just be a little salty.
Yeah, and actually, even in a slightly less dramatic scenario, even just sort of the, you know, watching your teammates get visibly shook can be really annoying. But you know, it's a sort of give and take. It's an interesting discussion because I think it could go both ways. You can make arguments both ways, right? Good headshot coming from Apex. Whitmer probably hoping that he was being covered by the forklift there.
Well, looks like EnVy are going to go towards that A site now. Anti-eco scenario here for EnVy, and so far so good. Apex finds Sanks. Devil will shut down Def's flank, and it's all on Android now coming in from short. He's got that deagle, and he's going to miss the shot. Kenny will pick him off. No chance for a second one there. So EnVyUs, man. So looking a lot like what we saw from Dust 2. This time, however, I mean, compLexity, they've picked up 1 CT round in 2 maps.
All right.
So they have picked up 1 round. It's not a second clean sweep rather that we're looking at here. But compLexity just have no money. They're, again, in a double eco scenario, which is just nightmarish. Imagine.
Yeah, it really is. Kenny, who definitely wasn't playing all that well on Dust 2, now at 21 kills, so making up for it here on Cash, it seems, and that's obviously good news. Yeah, not too much exciting to talk about here for compLexity. They just have the pistols, and it's hard to see how they can make any sort of an impact. They have a good stack going on in the middle, which I definitely appreciate. They're going to get shut down very early on, and the push that's happening doesn't seem to be very well coordinated, so 14 rounds for EnVy. The worst mentality for me, if I'm playing a game where it's like in a competitive environment, are people who take like a very sort of lean back version and say like, oh, it's all right, we're trying our best, and maybe next time we'll do better, and it's just a game, and like that really triggers me. I can't deal with that. I want
it's just a game thing that triggers that. That's the key word for me.
If
I don't care about somebody being positive, but if it's just like, oh, it's just a game, I'm gonna be like,
if we're just playing a fun game, that's fine. But if we're playing in a competitive environment, then I want my teammates to feel the same. And I think that's an interesting discussion that should be had more. Right now, 2 people in B. Def is in the middle, and Sanks and Surreal are playing over at the A bomb side. So pretty widespread. Since they don't run into a rush early on, this is very common as well. They just leave Whitmer alone there with the AWP and put Android in the middle. So he's just there initially in case it's a rush. It isn't. Go back to mid.
Go back to mid. EnVyUs have been pretty consistently taking over mid, so it makes sense to actually try and put up a bit of a fight here. NBK is going to beat Whitmer in a duel straight up on this B site. EnVyUs have no way of knowing that he's alone on the B site, but they're definitely looking to see if they can't find the man who's just rotated in here, Android. The flash into checkered, and now Android's realizing, well, we've completely lost control of this part of the map. I'm the last line of defense here. And the best part is that EnVyUs don't even have to commit to this if they don't want to. They've got NBK, but it is going to be the straight execute. Early rotation coming in from compLexity, though. They called it. So far, the defense getting overwhelmed. Sanks actually putting up a fight, gets 2 kills, but NBK's there to just trade them right back. Apex with an aggressive charge to the CT. Will find one, and Def not able to win the duel versus Happy in mid. Match point for EnVy. Quite a few of them as well.
I really wish we could get a sort of a replay of Android's reaction and sort of both in person but also in the game with how he looked when those Molotovs came in. It's another one of those scenarios where you should have like a step-by-step guide in your mind. What do I do if this happens? Because he was trying to improvise it on the spot, thinking, oh, what do I do? How do I get out of this scenario? And that doesn't work. You have to have a plan before it happens. I know, oh, it's the grenades. This is how I react.
Well, it's going to be the door push coming in here. Happy. He's alone. Good chance for compLexity to start off strong, and Def will eventually find the kill, but Kenny's there to get the trade. And Apex will find Sanks in the meantime. Kenny gaps Def. Yep, just completely falling apart here for compLexity. It looks to me like they're just going to pick up a single CT round here versus EnVy over 2 maps, which is just total and utter destruction. This is EnVy at their finest.
Yeah, definitely is. Android all on his own. Kenny right now with a triple, looking at him at a quad. He's up on the box. He's looking for that kill on Android, and there it is. Quad kill for Kenny, ending up at 26 kills at the end of the game. That's going to be 16-8. Maybe Semler, if they play a third map, they'll get 3 rounds or 2 rounds, and it'll sort of slowly increase until they beat them one day in 2020, I know, that's brutal, but
that is pretty brutal.
But ultimately, yeah, I think a lot of lessons are being learned right now for compLexity. T-side seems to be working all right. Again, we have to appreciate that they are a new team, and that they're playing a very experienced team. So there are a lot of factors to take into it, but overall, it went very much as expected. We did see EnVy winning 2-0 here, and that's exactly what happened. We'll get a good breakdown of what was different here on Kansas as opposed to Dust 2 right after the break.